Hey radio friends, I'm Mike, Kilo Echo Zero, Victor India Mike. This is the Travelin Ham, and today the 8-ton radio go box is going to get a Coax pass-through and an ATOS 120A antenna. You ready? Let's go.
Hi, my name's Mike. I'm a full-time traveler and ham radio operator. I activate amazing parks all over the United States. Join the adventure and see what's next.
Wow, do I really look like a guy with a plan?
That traveler has.
I just do things.
This is a huge, beastly, bulging man. Plates were from Kansas.
Okay folks, so this is actually how it happened one day. It was actually the Saturday at the end of Quartz Fest. We're at the Quartz Fest site. I had been working on my station build a little bit and was sitting having coffee with the wife, and she just asked, out of the blue, just kind of asked, so how's it going with your station installed? Do you have everything you need? And I told her, I said, you know, the one thing I still haven't quite figured out yet is what I'm going to do for the pass-through to get the coax connection inside the RV. And I was thinking of some kind of nice looking little box that would attach to the outside and have a little connector inside, but I hadn't found a product that was right yet. And I said, that's the one thing I'm still struggling with, but we'll get it figured out. Immediately after stating that, I checked my email, and in my email is a message from Jason at Rocket Machine Works saying that he has a product. He just saw one of my install videos, and he has a product that will be perfect for a coax connection to pass through the wall of the RV. And I thought, it's just meant to be. So what is the travel patch? So the travel pack fixture measures 3 1/8 inches in diameter. It's a 1/2 inch thick at its thickest part. It's CNC machined out of 6061 aluminum, and it's CNC thread milled to accept standard 5/8 by 24 threaded SO239 or N-type bulkhead connectors. It can handle a lot of cable tension with that good size diameter, and can be used in a number of different applications. Obviously, we're using it on a vehicle here. You could use it on a structure. You could use it on a go box. There's really no limit to what this can be installed on, as long as you got a good, solid, flat surface. Just make sure everything is sealed up really good. If you're intending some outdoor use and water intrusion might be an issue, Jason does apply a dielectric grease to the threads of the connector that goes through the travel patch to make it waterproof there. I'll show you how I waterproofed mine. It does also come with a laser cut cell foam gasket that can go on the underneath the patch. I elected not to use mine in this case due to what we needed to do to keep the RV sealed up. The travel patch is available in a Cerakoted finish now. This is a baked on finish, same stuff they use on firearms. There is they call it a Stormtrooper white, a crimson, a green, a tungsten, which is kind of a gunmetal color, a sky blue, a bolt blue, a crushed orchid, which is a purple, but the one I wanted was black. As soon as I saw there was a black, I knew that was the color for my RV. The thing I want to make sure of is the fat part of this is above the drip rail. It's a little thicker right here, so I want to make sure where I got it set. That's going to be above the drip rail. That's right here, and it is. So that is good. That location works. I'm going to drill all the way through from this side. To get a hole lining up on the other side, and then I will spade bit the real hole, the full size hole from both ends so I don't blow it out. Go as straight as I can. And I'm through. All right, I just drilled a hole in my RV. Sweet. Now I'm gonna hit it from the outside with my 9/16 inch spade bit. Okay, get some of that foam that's on the inside out of there too. Let's check the size of it. That is not big enough of a hole. Are you kidding me? It is not big enough for the thread. Son of a gun. Ah, this washer that I purchased says it was a 9/16 inch washer, and it fits over this, but this still is just not big enough for the connector. Can I just waller it out a little bit? Almost. 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 Oh man. Okay, there we go. Got it. A little spot of daylight coming in right there. And we're through. We are through. All right, back on the outside now. We're going to get the Rocket Machine Worx travel patch temporarily set up in there so we can drill all the bolt holes. I'm going to make sure I've got them set up right so that it looks sharp. Make sure I have them set up right so that the connector comes out far enough so that the antenna is set out far enough, but I got to get it set up on the inside first. That's next. Back in we go. I have a big fat washer here. This should be good enough for a good dry fit. Oh, he's tightening up a little bit more there. Okay. All right, I'll go with that. All right, I'm gonna do a little dry fit here. I gotta make sure I've got that connector far enough out that I can hook up the ATOS and the body of the ATOS doesn't bump my drip rail. So I'm gonna get my elbow connector on here and thread this guy on. Looks like it's going to be good. Okay, and now I'm not worried about sealant or anything yet. We are just dry fitting, but that's pretty good. I've got, you know, there's definitely some daylight there between the body and the drip rail, so we're good. That did good. I think it's perfect. I wouldn't want it any closer. I don't need to work it out any farther. I'm also going to use this, you know, at times where I can set up the DX Commander or some other antenna that I want to use. I can just run a coax up to here and connect it also. You know, with this connector, I can either have it down if it's coming up from below. I can have it up like so if it's coming up from the roof. I can work that however I want. Okay, now there's 6 holes around here I need to drill and get set. So I need to get one. I need to get one drilled through and get one bolt in there to hold it in place. And then I'll do all the others. Let's see how anal I want to get about this. And I'm through. Okay. Oh, hole not big enough. Hole not big enough. I'll have to drill the other one out from the inside. I don't want to take a chance of drilling a new hole in the wrong spot. Yes. Yes. He's in. He comes through a good little ways there. Maybe could have used a smaller bolt. Alrighty. 5 more holes. Here they come. 1, 2. This before I do any more. Let's just stick the bolts in there. Make sure I haven't done anything too funky. That one went right in. Nice and tightly inside there. I think. All right. There I have one bolt, just a little different size than the other. Because all the others go right into that pocket real nice, but that one doesn't. All right, back out on the workbench. Insulation and junk in the threads. Going to need the deep socket 3/4 inch. Tighten that dude up. I think that's pretty good. Hand tight enough for now. All right. Now. Nice smooth surface. Seems like a pretty solid piece of kit there. I like the design of it. It is going to look fantastic, and that Cerakote baked on there is going to match to the RV really, really nice. So I'm happy about that. But now, what we got to do is get the sealer on. So what we do in RV world, you can't use just regular sealer on an RV, or you really don't want to, because of all the abuse that it's going to go through, all the shaking, all the rattling. So we use butyl tape. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut strips of this stuff. So it's like it's a rubber-based material. It doesn't cure, it stays soft. It can handle extreme temperatures. It's very, very waterproof. And what we're going to do, it's got a decent amount of thickness to it. Okay, so let's say that's a 1/16 of an inch of thickness. So what it will do is we're going to put this on the back and just basically cover the entire backside of this guy with these strips of butyl. And then we're going to squish it up there. And then this stuff's going to do its thing. It's going to spread all out and fill in any kind of gaps. It's going to squish together. It's going to squish out the sides. It's going to squish out on the bolts, on the bolt heads. And it's just going to go out everywhere and seal it all up nice and tight. That's not going to take as much as I thought it would. You see, we had to buy a whole roll here. We got butyl tape to go for a while. But this can take all that shaking abuse where a normal, like your normal caulking, your clear caulking and the white goo that you might otherwise put on the back of this guy, it just can't take all that. It's too brittle. And then, those little bolts will just punch right through this. And it'll seal up real nice around all those. It'll seal up around the corners there of the of the connector. It'll just get a nice waterproof seal in there. Trim that goo off. Kind of a rough and dirty job of it. And then we'll be able to stick it up there. Do our final install. I love having a multi-tool with some scissors on it. I can't tell you how many times I use the scissors on a multi. I will never buy another multi-tool that doesn't have scissors on it. Shouldn't have used electrical tape to mark the wall. That's going to be a mess for me to clean up now. Masking tape would have been much better. So you can see we got this on and we got it tightened up nice and tight, and we got this putty, the butyl tape, squeezing out the sides here. So I got a little plastic knife so I don't damage the finish of the RV, and we'll just take off the excess. Ooh, that actually works pretty darn good. On the Yaesu ATOS 120A, the assembly is fairly simple. You take the whip, you put the butt end of the whip through the weatherproofing cap. There's a nut on the top of the coil part of the antenna that you tighten on the end of the whip. Then you put the seal, you know, nice and snug down over the top of the coil. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? But that's the setup. There it is. The ATOS is up. Okay, folks, so that's going to be it for this install for now. I'm still working on grounding solutions. I haven't come up with anything that works really great yet. My next step is I'm just going to get my hands on some good connectors, a nice wide ground strap, and I think I'm just going to run it right down through the closet like I did the Coax to run to the radio, and try to hook it up to the framing of the RV. Remember, there's that aluminum framing that's right underneath where I sit there. And if I can get access to that and rub some finish off and get a good connection right there with a nice wide ground strap, I think that'll help me out. The path I'm giving it is just not easy enough for my ground. We're moving again now. We're making our way over the next few weeks back to Kansas, and then things are going to slow down for about 4 months. So I think that's when I'm going to take my next look at it and get that going. So that's it for now for the radio station install and the 8-ton radio go box. I'm Mike, Kilo Echo Zero, Victor India Mike. This is the Travelin Ham. We'll see you next time.